Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Q&A for Delegate of Communications. Tonight, we'll be talking with our two candidates, Shayla White and Ashley Baker. SBA presidents, ABA reps, and law school liaisons on record with the ABA will be voting for 4 positions, including this one on Friday, August 2nd. Watch your email for an electronic ballot. You do not need to be at the annual meeting to vote. Visit abaforlawstudents.com/elections to learn more about the candidates. All right, so here's the format of this Q&A. The Q&A should last no longer than 45 minutes for 4 candidates or 3 candidates, or in our case, no more than 30 minutes for our 2 candidates. Candidates will get 2 minutes to give an opening statement, introducing themselves and giving brief remarks. After that, candidates will be asked a series of questions pulled from members of the council and of the assembly. Each candidate will have a chance to answer each question. Please limit your responses to 1 minute. Leftover time does not carry over. I will be keeping time. If a candidate mentions another candidate, so if you guys are talking about each other, we will give you a chance to respond to that. We will randomly select who's going first, and tonight that's going to be Ashley, rotating the order thereafter. And then we will close with 1 minute closing remarks. All right, so candidates, at this time, we're going to take 2 minutes to introduce yourselves. And Ashley, we will start with you.
All right, my name is Ashley Baker, and I'm running for Delegate of Communications. And I decided to run for this position for the same reason that I decided to go to law school. There are issues that are important to me that I feel are not being highlighted. In 2013, I wrote over 400 letters, one on behalf of each member, each young person in Chicago that was killed by gun violence. I wrote to aldermen, legislators, governors, mayors, celebrities, and out of those over 400 letters, I got 6 responses. I felt so defeated. And I knew that the only way that I could make a change or make a difference was to go to law school. And I know I'm not the only person that has topics or issues that have prompted them to go to law school. I think our publications should reflect the issues that we feel are important. And in this position, I would like to highlight some of those issues that you guys feel are important. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Shayla, you will now have 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
I am Shayla White. I am a 2L at Mississippi College School of Law, and I decided to run for this position because I understand the importance of accurate communication. I think that there are issues that are important to highlight, but even more than issues, there are things that law students face that we don't have understanding for until we get to law school, and being able to be the voice that helps law students understand how to not only get through difficult times, but that you're not the only person. I think that this is a great position to where I can highlight those things. And I have served in positions similar to this in undergrad. And I'm just really passionate about, bringing people together from different walks of life.
All right, thank you. For our first question, we'll start with you, Shayla. And our first question is going to be, what previous leadership experience do you have within and outside of the ABA?
Okay, so I'm a rising 2L, so I don't have any leadership within the ABA, but I have been a member for this last year, and I'm now a premium member. Outside of the ABA, I have been in undergrad. I was the general secretary my senior year in undergrad, which I had to be the liaison between the e-board and the staff that were our advisors, but also the e-board and the general members and the general school population. All of the correspondence went through me for different things that went on in the school for meetings and minutes from those meetings. I was also the sophomore class representative my sophomore year of undergraduate school as well. And in that position, I represented the class at different events. We had a town hall kind of meeting in undergrad, so I represented the sophomore class. I represented them in the SGA meetings along with the sophomore class e-board. And I am also going to be the vice president of our BALSA organization on campus this year. And I have also, in my sorority, I've been a member, I've been an officer.
We are at time, I'm sorry. All right, so Ashley, the same question for you. So what previous leadership experience do you have within and outside of the SBA, or of the ABA?
Okay, like Shayla, I don't have any experience inside the ABA, but I do have some leadership experience. I currently host a podcast that's aired weekly every Tuesday that has an average of 200 viewers on 3 social media platforms. And I also am a staff writer for the school newspaper at my law school, Southern University Law Center. And the publication is called The Public Defender. I also have created a Facebook group of over 800 members to talk about gun violence and issues that affect youth and things of that nature, as well as in 2013 and 14, I also hosted a podcast to talk about inner city youth and how we can change the direction of crime and things of that nature in that area. And that's my experience.
Awesome, so we are going to stick with you for our next question. So our next question, why are you interested in this role over other law student division positions?
I'm interested in this position because I feel that our publications can be a true reflection of our diversity. I was actually watching the diversity candidates, and they were talking about different issues in diversity, and I think that our publications should also reflect that. As a part of this campaign, I've been asking law students what their interests are, because it's really about them and what they want, because they're the readers. And I want to bring that to the publications. That's one thing that I've learned in law school, is that you write for your reader. You don't write for yourself. So I want to bring some of their issues to light and let them have a voice. Let them write some articles to be put in the blog and the Student Lawyer magazine. And that's what I want to bring to the publications. That's my interest.
Great, thank you. So same question to you, Shayla. Why are you interested in this role over any other law student division position?
Okay, I actively read many of the articles throughout the semester, and a lot of them I felt like were really good articles that applied to me. One in particular was on why law school stress is different, and I like to be able to put out content that can help law students like myself from a background who doesn't have, who I don't have parents that went to law school or any relatives that I know of. So helping people understand what they're getting into, but not only that it's, what you're getting into, but that it's doable, and you have to be able to navigate through the different areas effectively. But I did like a lot of the content, so to continue with that.
Awesome, so we will stay with you, Shayla, to start this question off. And we've talked a lot about some of the issues and how you guys want to shine a light on some issues. What do you think are the most serious issues facing law students that you would like to tackle in this role?
I think one of the most serious issues, because I see it, is mental health, because you have to be able to deal with your mental health effectively. And some people don't know how to, walk away from law school because it is a stressful environment, and you feel like you have to be in the library all the time, studying all the time because of the competitiveness of it. But even more importantly, I believe that having a healthy, you know, mental health is equally as important as being physically healthy. So highlighting how we can do that and different things. One of the things we did in our school was a lot of mindfulness activities at the end of the semester, and it really helped the students that attended. So highlighting how we could control our mental health.
Awesome. Okay, so actually, same question to you. What are some of the most serious issues facing law students that you would like to tackle in this position?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, I've been asking law students what issues are important to them. And these are the issues that they've brought to my attention. LGBTQ issues, especially as it relates to the law school experience, social justice, police brutality, drug use in the legal profession, stress and depression, and how to deal with that as you navigate through law school and in your legal career in the future. Gun violence, healthcare, poverty, social security, homelessness, and these are all issues that came directly from the students. These are things that they feel are important. They also shared that a Q&A session with lawyers, practicing attorneys, would be helpful to them, and that's something they would be interested in seeing. Thank you.
So our next question, we're going to stick with you. Why are you qualified for this role? What makes you qualified?
I feel that I'm qualified for this role because I have experience in every area that I would be required to work in. I have experience with publications that tackle legal issues. I have experience with podcasts. I have experience with blogs, and I have an interest in really engaging with students. A lot of the students that I've talked to were not aware of Student Lawyer magazine. They hadn't heard of it. So I brought a couple of issues to them for them to read. And I think that it's important for them to feel that whatever they're interested in is being tackled, is being dealt with. And that's it. That's why I feel like I am experienced and qualified for this position.
Awesome. All right, so same question for you, Shayla. What makes you qualified for this role?
Okay, I feel like I first have relevant experience, a background. I've worked on in different positions. But even aside from that, I'm good with working with a team, which I know that teamwork is a big thing, whereas you're a liaison between different entities within the division. Also, I have done a lot of record keeping, and I have also worked as an editor of my school's yearbook before. And I am an English major, so I can do different things as far as within the editing and on the editorial board. So, and additionally, I understand the importance of good communications and how, if you're effective in a role, how things could run smoothly.
So shifting gears just a little bit, to look back over the last year, Shayla, what do you think was the most valuable or significant issue that the ABA Law Student Division addressed this past year, and why?
I looked at a few. I think there are two things. One, again, would be the mental health articles and articles on networking, because I feel like not enough law schools. One of the issues at my law school, they highlight networking during your last year, but I feel like networking is something that is valuable from the first year of law school to the last year. So not only telling people to network, but showing them, giving them good networking skills to be able to go out and be in environments where they're speaking with attorneys and judges and to be confident. So mental health and networking are two of the important topics I've seen this year.
All right, Ashley, same question for you. What do you think was the most valuable or significant issue that the ABA Law Student Division addressed this past year?
I think that the most significant issue that was addressed this year was immigration. I read an article in the Before the Bar blog about immigration and the separation of families. And what I particularly liked about it was that it gave different avenues where law students can become involved. It named specific places where they could volunteer their time if they felt convicted to get involved with that issue. And that's the type of issues that I would like to bring to light. They also deal with stress. And I agree with Shayla that stress is very important. It's a very important topic. And many students can identify with that. And that's another thing that we cover a lot in the publications. Southern has a collection of the student lawyer magazines dating back to the 70s. I've been looking over the last 10 years and we deal with stress a lot and we should continue to do so. But we should also continue to.
All right, I'm sorry, Ashley, but we are at time. All right, but we will stay with you. So for our next question, what is your understanding of the time commitment involved with this position? What are your other priorities and commitments, and how will you prioritize this position?
Right now, I'm not involved with anything else other than the public defender, the newspaper at my school. As I stated before, I'm a staff writer. So outside of my classes, I have a lot of extra time to devote to the position. And I'm very passionate about getting involved as the delegate of communications. And I'll dedicate whatever time is needed to accomplish the goals that we set as a group.
Awesome. So same question for you, Shayla. What is your understanding of the time commitment involved with this position? What are your other priorities and commitments for the coming year? And what priority would you give this position should you be elected?
Okay, so other than, classes, I have one leadership position. I understand that the time commitment is around 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, hours, not minutes, 10 to 15 hours a week, which would basically be equivalent to, less than a part-time job. I don't work during the school year. So I have a lot of time to commit outside of studying to this position. Like Ashley said, I will, work diligently to ensure that I understand the importance of this field, that as an attorney, I will have be pulled a lot of different ways, but giving important, priority to each position. And this would be at the top of my list under, school.
All right, so you know the drill. We will stay with you for the next one. So what ideas do you have for the Law Student Podcast?
So I have been thinking of a few things and a lot of different series on issues that law students face, on another on information with I've gotten better this year at networking, so I know quite a few attorneys that I could bring in to give advice on their perspective. And I understand that diversity is important, and also diversity in the sense where hearing from different attorneys in different positions, because the law field is so broad. So having attorneys in different positions come in and speak on their positions and their roles to, especially to people that are interested in different things, and also people that are non-traditional in the field, that are doing things that everybody doesn't want to go into practicing in the courtroom. So just having different people from different areas within the field coming to speak.
All right. And Ashley, same question for you. What ideas do you have for the Law Student Podcast?
I think that one idea would be a Q&A session where we have students submit their questions for practicing attorneys, like I mentioned before, and then we ask those questions to the attorney over the podcast. Another is, like Shayla said, to have experts in the fields to come in and answer questions and to talk about their area of expertise, whether it's healthcare, Social Security, social justice, and whatever other interests that the law students specify or let us know that they're interested in. I think that that would be a good thing to do. That's it.
So we are going to stay kind of in that same stream of questions. And what ideas do you have to promote the Student Lawyer magazine and the Before the Bar blog?
Okay, so I think that promoting the magazine, we could have students to submit articles to us to be published in the magazine. I think that the students would be more apt to read the magazine. They would be excited to receive it if they know that there's a chance that they could be in it or their friends could be in it. I also think that we can have a section of the website dedicated to article submissions where the students could submit their articles, and it'll be similar to other well-known publications, their op-ed section, where you can submit an article to be published, and then the staff could work with them on editing and things of that nature. I also think that we could have them submit content ideas that they're interested in as well.
Okay, so we're at time. Sorry, we're in right to the end there. So Shayla, same question for you. What ideas do you have to promote the Student Lawyer magazine and the Before the Bar blog?
Okay, I think that having a social media presence is really, really good, because I noticed that we have all of these different entities for, student reps and for presidents. So creating something similar to that for just student members of the ABA, and also having, like Ashley said, opinion pieces are really big. If you can have students submit their opinion pieces, or not necessarily opinion pieces, but topics that they feel are important, and also getting a survey of things that they want to hear about. I think that that's probably the most effective way, because if you are able to present content that people want to hear about and want to read, then that's a good way to get them to read it. And that's it.
All right, so we're going to stay kind of on that topic. What systems would you put in place to ensure a steady stream of engaging content?
Again, so we are of the age of, the generation of people that do use social networks a lot. Unfortunately, like with emails, I noticed that a lot of students, we receive so many emails through the school that a lot of stuff kind of goes through like the ringer of, not really getting the chance to see it, or you see it and then you can't find it again because you have so many emails that you receive in a day. So being involved with them on social media and all these different entities, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is like becoming really big again. So different, and having like groups within that to where we can come and talk strictly with the law students in the ABA. I think that social media would be a big thing, and the magazines, I've gotten some physical copies, and I feel like students, if they're signed up for that to see their magazines, that's a big thing that gets it out there.
All right, so same question for you, Ashley. What systems would you put in place to ensure that we generate a steady stream of engaging content?
Okay, so like I said before, I would do the section of the website where they could submit articles, and that would be engaging content. It's been my experience in podcasting and things of that nature that students and people in general don't like things just dictated to them. They like to be engaged in it. They like to be involved in some way. And I think that when they submit articles, like I said before, they would be more apt to read it. I think also that we could have a student highlight section that would highlight several students across the country, maybe 5 or 6 students per issue of the magazine. And it would be similar to our Law Student Nation section where they have a map of the United States and they have the 5 or 6 different states highlighted. We could have the same layout with students and their different various accomplishments across the country. And that would also increase involvement and engagement with the students.
Great. So what issues do you think the Law Student Division should be a thought leader on?
I think that we should be a thought leader on definitely LGBTQ issues, definitely social justice, definitely immigration. We should definitely tackle student loan debt, which is probably something we can all relate to. We should definitely be tackling stress because that comes with our profession. And all the other issues that I noted from the law students that I talked to, those are the issues that we should highlight. But I don't think that we should stop at the 12 that I named. We should really engage with the students and ask them, you know, what are you interested in? What should we be doing? What should we be getting involved with? And then go from there.
All right, great. So Shayla, what issues do you think the Law Student Division should be a thought leader on?
Like Ashley, I believe that there's not one specific issue. I think that any issues that people have problems with is something to give attention to. But for me, I think one of the things, or a few of the things, is access to justice is a big thing. This summer, I've been doing work with a nonprofit in communities where people don't have access to justice, which does lead to stuff like social justice, people in different communities not knowing what rights they have, but also what, I guess, I'm trying to think of a way to say this, what not only what rights they have, but what they can bring, what things that they can bring suits against. I think that that's one of the really important things to me. Again, tackling mental health and also social justice is a big thing to me as well. So I think these are a few of the things, but there are a number of things that people have said that they want to tackle, and I think those are all important.
All right. So we will stay with you. Our next question. So one major priority of the Law Student Division is to recruit more free and premium law student members. How would you use the ABA publications to reach more students who aren't already members and get them interested in the ABA?
So for me, I believe that I would use the engine. One of the things, I guess, the schools is a big thing. If you could get the schools to publicize it, so sending out information to deans of schools. The way I heard about the ABA is that my school sent out an email at the beginning of the year saying, "Hey, sign up for the ABA free membership." So I didn't, I joined as a premium member. So having the publication run through the schools is a big thing because they have access to all of their students and they send out emails every day, like I said. So school emails are pretty important.
All right, Ashley, same question for you. One major priority for the Law Student Division this year is to recruit more free and premium law student members. How can you use the ABA publications to reach more students who aren't already members and get them interested in the ABA?
I think that what Shayla said was on point. Disseminating the information through the schools would be my primary focus. I know our school, the SBA president, sends out an email every week to all the students. And that would be one way that we could do it here at Southern. And Shayla mentioned that they send out emails frequently at her school. And I imagine that other schools do the same thing. So my answer would be on point with Shayla, that emails through the schools would be the best way.
Great. So Ashley, what question would you like to ask Shayla? Then Shayla will give you a chance to answer and ask Ashley a question as well. So Ashley, what do you want to know about Shayla?
Okay. How would you get the students involved in the publications? And what do you think about the idea of having them submit articles and things of that nature?
All right, so Shayla, you have a minute to answer.
Okay, I like what you said earlier about the area on the block to allow students to come, kind of like, not like a chat, but the little comment sections where you can go and have communication. Somebody can ask a question, somebody can comment. So also having that area where people can voice their concerns, I think it is really a great idea. So I think that would probably be the best because just having easy access, they're able to get to it quickly, write their comments, and get responses quickly.
Awesome. And then Shayla, what would you like to ask Ashley?
Okay, let me think of that question. What are some ways that you feel like working with a team can benefit? Because I know that in the role we have to do a lot of things, but how will you work effectively with a team to carry out the requirements of the position?
All right, Ashley, you have a minute to answer.
Okay, so I think that working with a team is going to be essential, especially for the ideas that I have. So when a student submits an article, there'll be a team of us that reviews the articles and says, hey, I think this is a good one. Maybe we should contact the student, and we can just work that out and see which articles we agree on, which ones we don't agree on, and go from there as far as that. And we would also work as a team with choosing which students to highlight in this spotlight section that I was talking about earlier. So every idea that I have would incorporate some teamwork. I don't think one person would be able to just go through all the articles and pick out all the students. And I think it would be kind of one-sided if one person did that anyway. So that's how it would work as a team.
Okay, and back to you, Shayla. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
If I was an animal, what animal would I be and why? I think an owl, because an owl is very observative. They, watch everything that goes on. They see everything. I'm the type of person, I like to sit back and, peep everything, peep the scene, if you will, before I act. So in everything, I like to, try to figure out how the people are before I go in. So now.
Awesome. All right. And Ashley, if you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Oh, this is the hardest question. This is the hardest question of the night. Based on Shayla's explanation, I would probably be an owl too. But I don't know. I feel kind of like a lion right now. I feel like a lion. I want people to hear my voice and hear the voice of the students, and I want to be a voice for them. Not that I'm super aggressive or anything like that, but I think that I would be a lion.
Okay, and it's now time for our closing statements. Remember that our closing statements are just 1 minute. Ashley, since we had you go first for the opening statement for this, we are going to start with Shayla. So Shayla, you have 1 minute for your closing statement, starting now.
So I am, again, Shayla White. I am running for Delegate of Communications. So I think that I am qualified. I have a background in areas similar to the responsibilities listed. And I hope that you all vote for me.
Okay, and Ashley, you now have 1 minute.
Okay, my name is Ashley Baker, and I'm running for Delegate of Communications. I hope to have your support. But at this time, I've spoken with most of the the SBA presidents and the ABA representatives and liaisons, either through email or over the phone. And you voiced your opinions and what you think needs to be changed and what you like about the publications. And I hope that I can, if I'm elected, make that happen for you. I also look forward, if I'm elected, to working with Shayla on some of her ideas, because I thought she has some really, really good ideas. And I hope that she would allow me to work with her if she's elected. So thank you.
All right, thank you for joining us tonight. And for everyone listening in on this, don't forget to vote on Friday, August 2nd.